Hi there, and welcome to another episode of The Joy of Minecrafting. We're going to start this episode with a little bit of story time as we go and watch our crops grow. At the end of the last video, we had a little bit of a game lockup, a game freeze. We were heading into the Nether with the intention of getting some lava buckets to fuel our furnace. Just about got the crops fully grown already. We were heading into the Nether to get some lava buckets in the last video. Just gonna pop in, get some lava right quick, and come right back out again. One of my Nether portals is right next to the lava ocean. The one over in the underwater base by the new castle we're building. So I stepped into the portal, and the load screen came up, and it just froze there. It just stayed on the load screen. There was still music playing in the background, though, but it wouldn't actually load the Nether. We were just staring at a load screen for a few minutes. So we ended the episode, and I was going to resolve the problem on my own time. So I didn't think there would be anything interesting about resolving it. Basically, I thought there was going to be 3 possibilities for how it would go. Number 1, I thought the most likely thing was that there would be a corrupted save file, and I would have to download and backup save and lose some progress and rebuild the top part of the castle. That's what I thought was most likely. Corrupted save file from the game locking up. We'll go ahead and harvest this wheat. It's grown enough to get started on this. I thought the second most likely scenario was probably the game saves. Every time you turn the game off, it saves. Even if you turn it off through the PlayStation menu. Even if you use the PlayStation menu to turn it off, say end program, it still saves your game. It knows you're turning it off and it saves the game. Because it doesn't want you to be able to cheat by going back to a save after something goes wrong. It doesn't want you to be able to go back to a save. So I thought maybe the game would save. Maybe it was still running well enough to save. And then I would load it up and be in the Nether where I was supposed to be, and everything would be fine. And then I thought the less likely scenario was maybe there was already an autosave right before I went into the gate, the Nether gate. And maybe there'd be an autosave right beforehand, and I'd load that up and everything would be fine. Turns out none of those was what actually happened. An entirely different thing happened that I did not anticipate being possible. So I wasn't recording, even though I should have been. So I'm going to tell you what really did happen between then and now. I started the game back up again, and I went and looked, and there was a save file there that showed a screenshot of inside one of my bases over on the other side of the world where this happened. One of those bases I had recently been in, so I thought that's probably a corrupted save file since it didn't show an updated Nether. So I clicked on it and it started loading. So the game didn't recognize it as being a corrupted save file. And I waited to see what would happen when it loaded. And what happened is I wasn't where the screenshot showed. I was in the Nether. Just loose out in the Nether. Not in my shelter I had made around the Nether portal. I was just standing on one of those red mushroom field areas of the Nether that didn't look familiar. And I turned around. There was no Nether gate behind me. I looked all around. No sign that I had ever been there before. Nothing familiar looking. And I thought, well, that's strange. But the very first moment when I appeared in the Nether, standing on the ground, I thought, well, maybe a ghast blew up part of my shelter, but I turned around and there was not even a piece of shelter, not even a piece of a Nether gate, just nothing. I was just in the middle of some undeveloped Nether. So I ran a short distance in every direction, hoping that I was just nearby to my Nether portal. Still saw nothing that I recognized. I picked the direction that looked like the easiest to move in and just ran a fair distance in that direction, just hoping I would see something to let me know where I was, and did not see anything. So then I did something I've never done before. I went and I turned on the coordinates display because I couldn't think of any other way to figure out where I was or how to get home. I didn't have a map with me because I wasn't supposed to be doing any real navigating. I was supposed to just jump into the Nether and jump right back out again. So I didn't have a map. And I didn't have a whole lot of food. I had maybe you could look and see what I had at the end of the last video, but maybe half a stack of steaks. That was all the food I had. But I know that this base, and therefore this Nether gate right over there, it's fairly close to the 0 point of the world, which is right over the horizon in that direction. So I knew that if I could get to the 0 point, I would be in this part of the world around here, except in the Nether. So I was in an unexpected situation where I didn't know for sure if the world was still correct and functioning, or if my game had gotten glitched and corrupted and the game just didn't know it. I thought maybe I was in the correct part of the Nether, but the Nether just sort of reset itself because the save file was messed up maybe. But I brought up the coordinates and I saw that I was 4,000 units away in one direction and 700 units away in the other direction from the 0 point. So I was very far away from here. So I thought, well, let's get moving. Because I didn't know what 4,000 units of distance really meant. I didn't know how far that really was. So I got moving towards the 0 point, just fast as I could run. Getting attacked the whole time, of course, because the Nether is a dangerous place, especially a dangerous place to try to cover a lot of distance, because you're going to keep spawning new enemies in front of you, while the old enemies are still following behind. I did not put this away. So, I'm in the Nether unprepared and lost, but I knew what direction to head in, and I started going that direction. And I kept hitting dead ends. I kept running into, for example, wide expanses of lava ocean, and I didn't have any way to cross the lava ocean. Because I didn't expect to be in the Nether. I didn't have a saddle or a mushroom on a stick to help me cross the lava oceans, because I didn't plan to be there in the first place. I built some new farms over here in between videos just to help me speed up how much I could harvest. So I didn't have a way to cross the lava oceans other than taking my big stacks of netherrack that I was getting and just using that to make this, the simple 1 block wide walk backwards quick bridge across the lava ocean. Either that, or if there was a close way to do it, I would get up into the ceiling and you can run through the attic of the nether, sort of, as long as you're careful. So I was getting a lot of netherrack because I also had to tunnel through the netherrack wall dead ends. I would keep coming to just a huge netherrack wall I'd have to dig through to keep going in the right direction. So I'm just spending hours, really. I spent hours trying to get across the nether to that 0 point. Things kept standing in my way, like huge swarms of ghasts that were respawning faster than I could shoot them, or lava oceans, or huge amounts of digging that I had to do to get through the netherrack walls that kept being put up in my way. There was one point where I was running across a soul sand valley with a swarm of skeletons shooting at me. And all of a sudden I stopped running because my golden boots got broken by all the attacks. So I had golden boots with soul speed on them, which I had forgotten that's why I could run on soul sand. But all of a sudden I stopped running and I realized, oh, my golden boots are broken. So I lost my golden boots on the journey through the nether. And also you might notice, maybe if you look down below, that my diamond picks are both in pretty bad shape because I'd had to do so much digging whenever huge walls of netherrack would be in my way. I could dig through it fast. These are very fast, high quality picks, but I did so much digging, I still wore them almost all the way out. I've actually already repaired them a fair amount compared to where they were. So spoiler alert, I did make it home. That's why I don't have my golden boots. And my picks are worn out. Also, my armor was all less than half durability by the time I was done. It's a very long, very difficult journey. It took hours, because I wasn't prepared for the journey and I was running through undeveloped nether. Lost my golden boots. Also, I got pretty close to running out of food. I've gotten a new stack of steaks out of storage, but I was pretty close to running out of food. But luckily I had my fire aspect sword, so I was picking up cooked pork chops whenever I would kill a hoglin. So I was able to switch and eat pork chops for the last part of the journey through the nether. And I was still about 1,000 units away from home when my picks were nearly running out. I thought, I'm not going to make it at this rate. But right about the time I thought that, the world opened up and I was just on a big open plain that I could run across. So the last 1,000 units of the journey was a lot easier in terms of navigation anyway. Just had to run and jump and avoid enemies through the valleys and over the hills. But I got pretty close to the 0 point, and I still didn't see any sign that I'd ever been there before. Didn't see any torches, didn't see any railroad, didn't see any of those little weird towers. I made a few weird little pointy towers when I was exploring the nether. That would be like a few units high of a block and then one block pointing back towards the nether gate. I didn't see any of those. I saw nothing. Nothing familiar. But I knew that if I was in the correct world, if the world was still working correctly, that once I got to the 0, point, I could just run in a big circle around the 0, and I would have to find my nether railroad, because that's a long, unbroken chain of very visible activity that I've done that covers a lot of area, or a lot of distance, I should say. So I knew if the world was still right, that I could find that, but I didn't know yet if the world was still right, because I was losing hope as I got closer and closer to the 0, point, the origin point, and still didn't see any sign of former activity. But about 200 units away from 0, I ran up over the top of a hill, feeling pretty sad, and all of a sudden there was a long stretch of railroad in front of me, going off at an angle, so I knew which way was home. And I very quickly realized that it wasn't the railroad between my nether gates. It was the other railroad that I built off in a different direction, towards a bastion remnant that I had found. So it turned out that where I spawned in the nether wasn't even anywhere close to where I was supposed to be. I was off in a completely the wrong direction, absolutely nowhere near any of my nether gates, nether portals. I'm not sure if the game just picked a completely random number to spit me out at, but it put me in a place that wasn't anywhere near a nether portal. Very, very far away, thousands of units away of distance. Very difficult distance to travel when you're not prepared to travel through the nether. But I made it home, and I went through each of my nether gates a few times since then. I did a whole lot of smelting. So at my castle base, I've got a lot of stone and smooth stone that I didn't have before, because I was smelting just to get experience. My armor's almost done getting fixed. All my important equipment has mending on it, except for the bow. So I've been fixing stuff just by getting experience and letting mending do its work. So all of my important equipment is just about fixed. Right, I keep forgetting this is over here and I need to finish planting it. Didn't plant these fields all the way yet. So I did a lot of smelting of cobblestone into stone and then into smooth stone at my castle base. And I've done a lot of farming, because you can sell crops to the village. I have a village right over there. I've sold a lot of crops to get some more experience. My cat is meowing very loudly at my door, as he always does when he doesn't actually want to come in. Do you actually want to come in? Do you want to come in? You little stupid baby. You little stupid baby. Little stupid baby kitty. You're a stupid kitty. Do you want to stay in here? And there he goes right back out again. The cat just wants you to open the door just to open it. Now he wants back out again. Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming. Make up your mind where you want to go. So, I think that about sums up my strange, doubtful journey through the Nether. And why we're going to be spending a while just trying to get experience for now. So yeah, the game froze up, and when I exited the game, it did manage to make a save, and everything seems to be correct in the world. I seem to have all of my stuff still. And everything seems to be working correctly. And the nether gates are working correctly again. It seems like the game just had a random freeze up, but still worked well enough to make a save game. Except it got my position wrong somehow. I'm not sure if the save game just saved the position wrong, or if you're not supposed to save in the middle of teleporting, probably, so it just doesn't know what to do with you. Maybe it doesn't save which teleporter you went through and it just throws you randomly into the nether. If it saves in the middle of a teleport, I don't know. I do know that it put me in the wrong place by a very long distance. And it was a long, hours long I spent trying to get home. Because again, did I mention I didn't have a saddle, so I couldn't get on a strider and ride across the lava oceans. I had to either quick bridge over them if I could see an island in the right direction, or get up into the ceiling of the nether and run across that way. But that used up my picks. Every time I did that, they're still in bad shape. And I've already repaired them quite a bit by getting experience. Because they do have... Did I fill up my inventory? I forgot to unload my inventory. I don't need that egg. Throw the egg in the water. Maybe it'll grow an eggplant. Haha. Get it? You plant the egg, it'll grow an eggplant. So I filled up my... Right. I need to plant those carrots back. So I think I've finished the story. I think that's all there is to say about that. So a whole lot of digging, a whole lot of very dangerous ad hoc bridging. I thought that was a carrot that I hadn't picked up, but it is the egg I just threw down. I have attention deficit disorder, and I basically immediately forget anything that I stop thinking about for a second. My brain changes subjects, and I immediately don't know the thing that I just knew 1 second ago, which is that I threw an egg in the water, and that's why there's something bobbing in the water. But once I realize what it was, then I remember. I just have to be reminded. Like, I just now had to be reminded that I don't have inventory space to harvest these potatoes, that I just realized that I didn't have inventory space, and yet I had to remind myself. So, a long, dangerous, doubtful journey through the nether that happened off camera because I didn't think it was going to happen at all. I didn't think anything was going to happen interesting. I thought I was either going to just be back where I was and not have any problem, or have to reload an old backup save. By the way, back up your save games in Minecraft. Because I have had several corrupted save games in the past. Every time I've been playing this game and the power goes out, my save game gets corrupted. It makes me think that this game intentionally corrupts your saves whenever you load it, and then doesn't fix it until you exit out again. Because every time the game dies in the middle, the save game's corrupted. So I have PlayStation Plus. I am playing this on a PS4. So I have PlayStation Plus where I can back up my save games. It's how I do it. I'm sure on PC you can probably just go into the file structure and see, what do I want to plant over here? I got wheat, potato, wheat, yeah, another potato line. I always want to have, I need to finish these lines too. Hello, Piggy. Piggy wants my potato. I need it, Piggy. I need it for selling to get experience. I can plant carrots if I need to finish a row. Looks like the carrots are finished. What I need is seeds and the other kind of seeds. I need more seeds is what I need over here. So I've already been doing this for, probably spent an hour or two smelting and farming and selling crops to get experience. It seems like the game prioritizes your armor, because that mostly healed up. Mostly repaired my armor, but the picks are taking a lot longer to repair. Even if I'm holding them when I do the trade, it seems like the game prioritizes fixing the armor first, which is probably a good thing. Probably your armor and your weapon are a lot more important than your tools when you're in a dire situation like I was in. But I made it through, and the only thing I lost was the golden boots. One thing I didn't mention is, when I lost the golden boots, I briefly thought about just quitting and going back to the backup save game, but I already had almost 30 experience levels, so I knew I could just make another pair of golden boots. That's why I had plenty of gold on file, so I've got 2 pairs of golden boots I made, plus one that's already got 2 levels of soul speed. So what I'm going to be doing is, maybe I'll go ahead and, no, I already did, I already checked. I don't think the table is going to give me a good enchantment right now on my golden boots. Yeah, I don't want projectile projection. I want fire projection since they're for the nether. I want to put fire protection on these. Oh, right. I forgot you can try enchanting books, too, to see. Just to have a different option of what you might get. No. Nope, don't want any of that either. Alright. Not having good luck with the enchanting table right now. So if I get up over 30 levels, I might burn an enchantment on something else. I could put mending on a hoe or something like that. Just to burn an enchantment and reshuffle, but I'm not going to do that unless I get over 30 levels, because 30 is where you have to be for the highest possible enchantment to get. I didn't phrase that sensibly, but you probably can figure it out. The best possible enchantments, you need to be level 30 to be able to get them. That's what I intended to say. So we got getting a lot of farming done. I need to remember not to mulch my seeds right now. I'm in such a habit of mulching my seeds, I forget on the rare occasion that I actually do need the seeds not to do that. I don't think I need this dirt anymore. I do need the grass for when we go back to the new castle. I forgot that you have to have a bit of grass in order for grass to spread in the first place. You have to have some. And the top of my castle, at the very top, I've got a greenhouse where I want to have a grassy floor. And I don't have any grass up there yet because, of course, it's a whole new platform I built up in the sky. So I'm going to have to seed some grass areas to get the grass to spread. Wait, is this? No, I don't need lava buckets here. I've already got lava buckets at this base. Okay. So I'm just working on farming and getting that experience. I'll wait till something is overflowing its area in the storage box before I figure out what I want to take and go sell. The sugar's getting pretty close to harvest time. Maybe I'll go ahead and just do some spot harvesting just to get some seeds and get this planted. Just harvest just the ones that are already done. It's a lot more finicky and time consuming, but I've got time. All I'm doing is waiting right now. What was this? This is potatoes. Okay, so where's... Oh, I don't have a wheat on this side. Didn't quite plant this in the most sensible way, but I think it's still good enough to count for... It's not called crop rotation, but this game supposedly... I haven't done any testing myself, but supposedly if you plant different crops row by row, they grow faster. And I'm running out of daylight. So let's get back to safety. Get to bed, take a nap, and it'll be safe daylight hours. Maybe not entirely safe. It is possible that a creeper might have just spawned right outside my door. That's something I've always got to look out for. When there's been a little bit of night, I've had this front part of my house blown up several times by creepers hiding right outside the door. Run past. Nothing. I did hear that fire up there though, and for a second I thought that might be the sound of a creeper about to explode over here. I also have my crop chest and some pieces of my mulcher blown up on a couple of occasions. Although that did help me find, there was a deposit of coal, I think, right behind here. Right behind that wall. So they did help me find something, but it was kind of a hassle to have to rebuild the chest and the mulcher. Okay, what do I got? I could drop the wheat. Why did I... Oh, the bunny hide. I didn't remember why I turned around to go back inside. ADD again. Oh yeah, I did at some point. I don't think it was... I think it was one of the other times I was playing on my own time. I accidentally made another raid on my village happen. Because I killed some of those gray weird guys that have the banner. And I just forgot. Some time passed and I forgot that I had that, you get a little curse up in the corner of the screen that tells you that you're cursed, and if you go into the village, there'll be a raid on the village. So that happened, so I got another one of these totems, so I said, you know, I've got enough of these, I can just keep one on me all the time now. Totem of Undying, that if you have it equipped, it will, well, stop you from dying. And you'll use up the totem and it'll be gone, but you'll still be alive. Sort of a last minute desperation move to keep from getting killed and having to go find your stuff when you respawn. Or losing your experience, because you do lose all the way down. You can only regather 7 levels of experience after you die. You can get a little bit of it, but not much. So, yeah, right, beets. That's what I was going to do before it was nighttime. Finished getting the beet rows planted. And this little farm will be fully established. There we go. Everything's planted. I think this is enough I think this is enough farms. Especially since I'm doing manual farming. I know you can make like machines and stuff that'll do automatic farming, but I'd rather do it manually. I don't want the game to play itself for me. I'd rather manually harvest and replant my crops. Oh, I forgot that I had tilled this soil over. I guess I have a whole nother area to plant then, in that case. I forgot that I had tilled this soil over here. Just completely forgot about this platform up here. Because I hadn't started planting and harvesting it yet, so it didn't really stick in my memory. Plus it's up high where you can't see from below that it's tilled. You can see from over here if you're really paying attention, but I just didn't notice that over there, that big expanse of tilled soil. And I accidentally tilled this middle soil. There's no need to till in the middle here when you plant pumpkin rows like this. You only need to till where the vine's going to go. Looks like the vines are all almost done growing. So that'll start being a lot more productive in a minute. The sugar's getting close to done. This is still. These over here should grow a little bit faster because the bees are kind of random in where they drop pollen. I wasn't really looking at the flower, but see the pollen they drop, sometimes it'll hit a plant and make it grow. Another stage of growth. So we're just waiting for things to grow. I'm going to wait till I have more seeds. I kind of want to do whole rows at a time. Maybe I'll keep spot farming. I'll keep spot farming. There's nothing else for me to do, so I'll just keep getting whichever one is grown, just bit by bit. As we just try to get a lot of crops to sell to the villagers to get experience, to get those pickaxes. Does the game call them picks or pickaxes? It calls them pickaxes, okay. Is it a pick? Is it a pickaxe? I don't know if there's really a difference. But some people get persnickety about using the right terms for things. If you've watched this playthrough, you know I don't use the right terms for things. Like when I go into the nether, those humanoids with the pig faces, I just call them pigmen. I think they're actually called piglins. And then I think the great big pigs that are actually pigs, but they're huge and mean. There's normal pigs in this world, but you go into the nether, there's huge mean pigs. I think they're called hoglins. I believe they're called hoglins. So there's piglins, there's hoglins. This is done for a whole bit of an area here. There's the drowned zombies. I think they're just called drowned. I call them drowners because that's what they were called in The Witcher. I only ever played the first Witcher game. I do need to at least play the third one. I've got the third one on PS4. I just haven't gotten around to playing it. I'm at a stage in my life where I have more money than time, so I buy a lot of games just to have them around if I ever feel like getting to them. So a lot of times I'll mention a lot of different games. I have the game, I need to play it. But there's too many of them, I can't play all of them. I have enough games to keep me going the rest of my life, especially if you can consider that a lot of the games I played are old games that I already played years and years ago that I want to play again. Like a couple of videos that are going to start going up soon are Strategic Command and Lords of the Realm 2. Those are old computer games that I got. Actually, at least a decade ago. At least a decade ago. Maybe 2 decades in the case of Lords of the Realm. But at least a decade old games that I used to play quite a bit. And I've already played through Strategic Command once. I just haven't uploaded it yet. That's a short game. It's only, I think, about a 7-hour, maybe 8, 9, maybe 8, 9 hour playthrough. And then Lords of the Realm. I haven't started recording yet, but I did. I did a little bit of a test play just to see if I could get it to work on a modern computer, and it sort of worked. There's a weird bug with the music looping, though. I would like to get the music working, because it has really nice, pleasant music in parts of the game that I like to listen to, but it's glitched out and only plays a few seconds of it over and over again. Hopefully I can get the music working. Harvest my pumpkins and melons. The nice thing about pumpkins and melons is you don't have to replant them, as long as you're careful not to hit the stalks that they come off of. Also, they're worth more money, more emeralds than the ground crops are worth. But you do have to train farmers up to a higher level before they can buy pumpkins and melons. They do start with growing. All the farmers originally start out just buying one of these ground crops. Beets, taters, and what's the other one? Carrots. Beets, wheats, taters, and carrots. That's what all farmers start out trading for one of those. Each one will trade for one of those. And then the next level they'll trade for, I think, pumpkins. And then the level after that they'll trade for watermelons. I might have it backwards. I know the pumpkins are a more efficient thing to farm, but I think they also come first in the trade menu. I think, but I might be wrong. Cat brought us. I mean, not bought. He didn't buy it. He doesn't have any emeralds to spend. He brought us another rabbit skin. That's where all my rabbit skins... I haven't done any rabbit hunting. That's where all my rabbit skins and foots have come from. And all of my phantom membranes, which I think the only thing you use those for is to repair the gliding wings, which I don't have anyway. So I don't have a use for those yet. I don't know if I ever will. I don't think there's another use for phantom membranes. Nothing else is showing up in the craft menu. But yeah, melons are a little bit more of a hassle because you have to reconstitute them from slices back into melons. So you don't get as much of a stack of melons from each melon you harvest. Getting pretty close to having full stacks of melons and pumpkins, though. So you might be getting pretty close to a trip to town to do trading. Need to get my hunger meter up so I can run. Sugar is even more closer to being almost ready to... Of course, you can... Sugar's another one that you can harvest anytime, because as long as you don't take out the bottom piece, just take out the top 2 pieces, it'll regrow itself without having to be replanted. So you could harvest that at any time, like I do with melons and pumpkins. But I just like to wait Sugar's another one you have to go back and craft it into something to actually sell. You can't sell sugar on its own. You have to go make paper, and you can sell it to your librarians. I guess maybe I should do more melons and pumpkins up there since they are a lot more valuable. Maybe that's what I should plant up here. Which in that case, I can just go back and get... How many seeds can I make right where I am? Oh, I can make plenty of seeds right where I am. Okay. First of all, let's go ahead and empty out the inventory spaces for them. Let's just go ahead and make this up here. Maybe I'll do that over there. 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows. Maybe I'll do 1 row. Maybe 1 row of melons and pumpkins and then 1 row of normal crops. I don't know. Yeah, let's do that. I don't want it to get too samey and repetitive, you know? Let's put the pumpkins over here, away from those pumpkins. And the melons over here, next to these pumpkins. So this will be a mixed lane of pumpkins on one side and melons on the other, once they grow. Then we'll put some more of the normal crops over here, just because I just don't want it to be too much, just all pumpkins and melons, you know? Even if it's not the most efficient, I do want it to kind of mix things up. Oh, my carrots are done. All right, what's our least favorite crop? There's one short row here. Least favorite crop. Beets. I think that's the least favorite. Because you have to grow them from seed. And they're not as useful as potatoes or wheat. Wheat and potatoes are the most useful ones, so that's why I always do more of those than the other two. Carrots aren't that useful, but they just grow straight out of carrots. You don't need to mess with seeds. See, I've got to switch the beets out of my inventory and put the actual seeds, since that's what you plant. There's a little bit more hassle with beets than there are with carrots. Basically the same value. You pretty much only use them to trade with farmers. So it's a beet row done. Let's go beet and then wheat. Then potato. Do I have any potatoes? I have some back at home. How many carrots do I have? Don't want to put the carbs next to each other, so that's wheat. So we'll put carrots here. That's just a silly rule I just made up off the top of my head. It's perfectly fine to put the carbs next to each other. I'm just being silly. Let's go. How's my inventory? Let's go ahead and empty the inventory out before we harvest the sugar. You can also do fishing to get experience if you just wanted to repair your armor, but my armor's mostly done, so it would be very difficult to repair my picks with fishing because I'd have to switch out the fishing rod real quick before the experience orbs got to me. And that would be a little bit tricky. And I could put some of this stuff away just for now, just to have more space. As long as I remember to get it before I leave. So they have more space to carry crops and things. Right, that's... Okay, we're full of pumpkin seeds. We can mulch those, because we've got a full stack. I forgot to grab my potatoes to plant. We've got them now. Oh, is it getting dark again already? Okay, we're done planting. Everything's planted. I could see how much bone meal I have from mulching. Get those melon stalks growing faster. Got a few melons at home, but there's so few of them, and I put them in a checkerboard pattern so they're harder to harvest. Another rabbit skin from the cat. You can, I think, put 4 rabbit skins together to make a leather. Yeah. So that's one use for the rabbit skin. I don't know if there's another use for it. Did anything else show up in the crafting menu? What are the pumpkins for? Or just torches? No, there's nothing else for rabbit skins, it looks like. Just make leather out of them. There is rabbit meat that you can make like a stew or something out of, but the cat never brings the meat. The cat eats the meat himself and brings you the feet and the skin. Sorry, I was just staring at my stuff in my inventory and thinking about what I could make or sell out of it all. But for the most part, I just accumulate inventory. So I've got so many chests. I got a house full of chests. I got a castle full of chests. I got an underwater base. It doesn't have as many chests in the underwater base. It's a little bit more efficient. And again, that ADD strikes, and I forgot that right as I was coming over here, I said I was going to get some bone meal. And then I got back and saw those ungrown stalks, and that reminded me that I said it. But I didn't think about it when I needed to think about it, which was right over here. Yeah, we got a full stack, and then some. I did not need to move that over. That was a silly thing to do. But my brain has gotten in the habit of everything having its certain slot, because I've been messing with my crop chest so much, and the crop chest is set up so that everything has its own slot, so that it stacks up to the amount that I want it to stack to, and then I know what to sell first. Alright, let's get these stalks growing. Who messed up my potato? Somebody came and stomped my potatoes. That was rude. I'll just replant it then. Alright, these stalks, let's get these going. Oh, you can just run down the thing sideways and do that. I was wondering if that would work. Is it because there's a thing here and you're falling off this? Is that what made you stomp my potato, or are you just a jerky pig? At least you're not one of those big dangerous pigs in the nether. Those are not my kind of pig. Whoopsie. Didn't mean to do that. Went off the end a little bit there and fertilized the grass. It's hard for me to read the number. I think that says 25. It's hard for me to read the number when it's white on white down there in the hot bar. Don't want to use up all my bone meal, but there is a significant chunk of another stack already in there. So I can use up most of this handful and still be perfectly safe if I ever have an emergency in the future where I need bone meal for some reason. Okay, these should start producing melons pretty quick. There we go, they're all almost fully grown at least. These I think are pretty much all almost fully grown now at this point. Alright. So, well, this is an hour-long video, but the farm is basically done. Let's get rid of that grass. Tall grass, don't want that next to my crops. Right. The sugar is probably ready to harvest. How's my inventory space? Plenty. Let's go ahead and get the why is this one short? Oh, I was trying to chop a melon a long time ago, and the axe counted as chopping the sugar behind me. I saw the melon still sitting there and sugar pop up in my face. I was standing too far back in the sugar when I swung my axe at the melon. So that's why that sugar is short. So we harvest the sugar, turn it into paper. Wait for the lag. Harvest the sugar, make paper, and then sell the paper to the librarians. I have a lot of librarians, don't worry. None of this paper will go to waste. I've got a whole library in that village. Built it myself. Built a library myself. You can't see it from here, really. You can kind of see the roof a bit, I think. Not with my eyes, but I think it's right there. Yep. There's a little bit of roof of the library. We'll be there in a minute. Once we go home and turn this all into paper. Got stragglers on the ground as always. Plenty of room left. Did you know you can chop sugar with a telescope? You can chop sugar with anything, really. I can chop sugar with a potato. Last row done. Now just to get the stragglers. They're really easy to see when they're in the water, like that. Not so easy when they're in the middle of the stalks, but there's so much of it we don't really have to worry too much about getting every little piece. I wonder how much paper I have, and probably not much storage, yeah. Just in case I decide to make a lot of bookshelves or something later, I want to keep several stacks of paper on me. Well, not on me, but in my chests. Alright, what else do we want to take with us? We got paper. Put away this bone meal. We got paper. What? Oh yeah, the melons and pumpkins have almost filled out their areas. Alright, we still got more inventory space. What else? It's not really anything that's really full. So we'll do beets and carrots. Yeah, there's only one stack of carrots. Let's do potatoes? Wheat? There is more wheat than potatoes, so we'll do wheat. Alright, let's go selling. Let's go selling and see how much we can fix up one of our picks. Didn't realize it was almost nighttime. We're going to have to run into a bed real quick. We don't want it to be nighttime in the village. So we don't want the villagers getting attacked. I already lost a few villagers to that raid. Had to start over with some of my farmers. Guys, don't slam the door in my face. I understand you didn't want me to come in and steal your bed, but... Come on out in the sun, guys. Zombies catch fire in the sun. It only takes one hit. Alright, there's a little bit of experience for the pick. It's just a tad. I did not bring carrots, sorry. But I did bring pumpkins and melons. Okay, so our armor is fully repaired now. Hey, you need to retill this. Farmer, got some work to do, farmer. Got to retill. Are you guys going to make me till it? Alright, where's a librarian that needs experience? There's one. What are you? Blast protection? I don't want blast protection. Change your trade. Oh, they've frozen. This happens sometimes. My village is very big. Sometimes they get stuck not figuring out what they want to do and they all get frozen for a second. And they won't talk to me. He won't talk to me until he unfreezes. They all freeze at the same time. It's very creepy. The pig froze too. But they're still making noises. Isn't this strange? There we go. Alright, he's just selling bookshelves. What was this guy? He's already an expert. That guy's selling bookshelves. I don't need to buy bookshelves, thanks. Oh. Where'd that experience come from? Where did... Oh. A trader lost his llama. Why is there a fisherman way over here? Why are you way over here, fisherman? There is not any fishing stations anywhere near here. Yeah, I guess we'll get your level up somewhere. It's all hill by, but that is a noticeable. Now that all the experience is going to my pick, it is noticeably getting repaired whenever I do a stack of trades. Alright, are you the farmer I already traded with? No, you're the wheat farmer. Okay. One of them anyway. Alright, we've got space in the inventory now. We've got a pick most of the way healed just from this one trip. It's going faster than I thought it would. Back when I had to heal all my armor, it was very slow going because it was spreading the experience out between every different thing I had. What are you selling? Luck of the Sea? Sure. No more books coming? Okay. Just walk away from you then. Oh, that guy just changed to a map maker. Right before our eyes, he decided he wanted a different career. He wasn't feeling fulfilled as a librarian. I guess fire protection is something that you have a specific need for occasionally, so we'll level you up. Okay, we're out of paper. Alright, what else do I have to sell? Just melons. Hey, you. Where are you going? I don't like you not having a job. Oh, he's charging more. And this guy can't. See, this guy's a new farmer because some of my farmers died. This guy's charging more for melons too, man. I did so much trading that I'm not getting good deals. Alright. How did you feel about melons you can't buy anymore? This farmer isn't here right now. Or this one. There's one over there. Anybody want my melons? He's got a gray thing, so he won't be high enough level. What does he want? He wants beets. What was your take on melons? You're good for melons. Oh, not anymore. Must have already sold him some a minute ago. Alright, I guess we might just have to get a bad deal on melons. Yeah, we're gonna have to get a bad deal on melons, but nobody who's offering a good deal can buy anymore. What am I looking at? Oh, it's a guy standing on top of something. I thought it was a weirdly tall guy. Alright. One trip to market has nearly fully repaired our pick. I don't really ever need anything, but I always like to just check and see what the wandering trader is selling. Nothing I need. I already knew that. So we did a trip to market, got a pick nearly fully healed. Repaired is the word I should use, I guess. Villagers love to get in my minecart. Because they never have their own mine system. Mine carts. They never have their own rail system. You always have to deal with their jealousy as they want to take a ride in your mine cart. So that's enough for this video, I think. We've explained why I'm doing extra farming to get experience to repair my stuff that got damaged in the Nether debacle. But we're almost back. We're almost back to normal now. After a few hours of smelting and farming, almost got everything repaired up. Oh yeah, the boots. The boots. Let me go home and see what I've got in the chests as far as books with enchantments. Since I still didn't get another experience level, I can't really burn one. If you have excess experience, you can burn a level just to reshuffle the enchantment tables, but I don't really have excess experience. There's some upstairs, so what do I need? Soul speed, unbreaking, feather falling. So I've got a feather falling. I need fire protection. Touch sharpness. Feather falling, I already grabbed one. Fire protection 3. Does fire protection go up to 4? I think it does. So we might just enchant the boots from books. What else do I need? I've got fire, unbreaking, and feather falling. So I need soul speed, another level. I don't know if I'm going to have that in a book. I don't think you can get soul speed out of the table now that I think of it. Oh yeah, mending. Need mending, definitely. Wait. That's a fire protection by itself, so we'll save the book that has other enchantments on it. Ah, there's a book. There's a book of Soul Speed. I think Soul Speed goes up to 3. There's another fire protection by itself, so we'll save the multi-shot book. What else did I need? Power. I don't really need to put the water enchantments on golden boots because I only wear them in the nether where there's no water. Unbreaking. What was on my unbreaking book? Just unbreaking, okay. I think unbreaking only goes up to level 3. I think. Frostwalker you don't need on golden boots. There's no frost in the nether. Wow, that's a good book. Protection, unbreaking. Nothing else I need on the books. Feather falling. So is it just feather falling, mending, fire protection, unbreaking, soul speed? Maybe fire protection only goes to 3. I'm not seeing a 4 anywhere. Fire protection. Where is it? No, it goes up to 4. It's only going to cost me 1 experience to do this too. These already have soul speed. Yeah, that'll get it up to 3. So let's go. Okay, we got soul speed 3 on those. Let's get different boots. If you keep re-enchanting the same thing, it gets to where you can't do it anymore. So you kind of want to spread your enchantments around and then combine them all together at the end. Feather falling 4, put that on these boots. You can also combine the books together first. Just out of curiosity, I don't think there's an Unbreaking 4. That's 2, that's 3. Oh, this doesn't have Unbreaking. I need to put Unbreaking on my other pick. Let's get another Unbreaking book. Where is one? Before I forget, just go ahead and get Unbreaking on my other pick. Because I really could have used it when I was in the nether. Oh boy, that's going to cost 18 experience levels to do it because it's already a pretty enchanted pick, but we need it. Now, I probably can't finish the boots yet with what I've got. Yeah, because I didn't even put anything on those yet. What if we try to put together Feather Falling and Unbreaking? That costs 4. If we turn it around, it still costs 4. That goes Feather Falling and Unbreaking, which we do still need. Put that on these boots. Can't do it. I don't have enough experience. All right. Well, that's what the process is. I'll do the rest in between videos. So next time we can come back to working on the castle again I'll do the rest in between videos, just farming, getting experience, and putting together all these different enchantments onto all these different golden boots. And then put the golden boots together so we have one pair of super good golden boots to wear in the nether. We did this before with the last pair of golden boots, but they got broken. On the tragic journey of being lost in the nether. So this is all about replacing what we had before. Were those shooting stars? No, it's just the way the aliasing is working off in the distance there on the horizon. Those little white bits moving around depending on how I move. Just because it's a single pixel and the game has to decide what color to make the pixel depending on what angle I move at. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it on the YouTube video, but off on the horizon there I'm seeing little bits of white moving back and forth when I move. When I first saw it running up to the bed, I thought it was shooting stars in the distance, but it's just the horizon deciding whether or not to render. It's more obvious like this. Just graphics doing graphics things. So I'll take a nap, do the rest of this experiment in between videos. I meant to say experience gathering, but my brain said the wrong word. Does that sometimes. Do some more of the experience gathering in between videos. And we'll come back next time with all of our equipment where we want it. Ready to continue construction on the new castle. Our final build. Our final build of the game before we go and fight the Ender Dragon. I've never done that before. This will be my first time fighting the Ender Dragon. Zombies spawned outside, but at least it's not a creeper. They must be down below. They must have been out here somewhere because the sun was hitting them. Oh well. We'll be back next time with all this done and ready to go. Work on the castle some more. A very high, tall tower up into the sky in the Badlands. It's going to be at least a few more videos to finish that. It's very large and has a lot more decorating and finishing to do. And there's a little secret mechanism I'm working on to go out in front of it. That I think will be pretty neat. I think I can get it to work. I've gotten a sort of miniature test of the mechanism working nearby, so I think I can figure out how to make that work. It's a secret bridge through a lava moat, is what it's going to be. I'll just go ahead and spill the beans. I'm going to sort of use pistons and levers. Sticky pistons and levers and redstone circuit to make a bridge that rises up out of the lava. So you can cross the lava. I don't actually have the lava in place yet either because I don't have the bridge in place, so I need to build the bridge first. Then put the lava in so you can cross the lava. So we'll be doing that. Maybe I'll do that next video. Although it will slow down my ability to run in and out of the castle because I'll have to stop and flip the switch every time. But anyway, we'll be back next time doing something at the new castle.